75 years, Clark Public Utilities has built a long legacy of providing vital electric service to the growing community of Clark County. This legacy took root during the Great Depression, when the federal government worked to spur economic recovery by building projects throughout the nation. Projects in the Pacific Northwest included the Bonneville and Grand Coulee dams. These hydroelectric dams produced huge amounts of reliable, low-cost power. To sell this clean, renewable electricity, Congress created the Bonneville Power Administration. About this time, a local movement began to move away from the private power companies that sold electricity for a profit. In Washington, many communities considered formation of public utility districts, which were customer-owned utilities that focused on service and sold electricity at cost.
In the 1920s, the Grange movement, both nationally and locally, became very interested in establishing the concept of public ownership of the hydro resources of the Northwest and the nation. And then in 1930, there was an election where the Grange and Labor strongly supported a bill to authorize formation of public utility districts in the state of Washington.
Voters rejected the first attempts in 1934 and 1936. But in 1938, despite fierce opposition from the private power companies, Clark County voters said yes to a public utility district. Voters also selected the utility's first Board of Commissioners: Hy Meyer, Joseph Ast, and L.M. Jones.
We had too many people that were not getting served for electric power. So that's why the PUDs were formed. Basically, to give a cheaper power and a supply that they could count on.
But the battle was far from over. Despite opposition from existing private power companies, the young utility arranged to buy power from Bonneville, and nearly 4 years later, on August 21, 1942, began service to Air Reduction Company, AERCO, which manufactured industrial gases for use in the Vancouver shipyards during World War II. It would be nearly 10 years after its formation before the PUD was able to complete the purchase of the existing electric systems in the county. But by 1948, the PUD became the only electric utility in Clark County, providing service to nearly 27,000 customers. With this came high expectations from the customer owners.
First of all, the people want reliable service. They want it at a reasonable cost, which is sometimes difficult to do. And they want to know that we're well managed and looking to keep our facilities strong for whatever future demands we have on our grid.
And customers were pleased. In fact, customers in Hazeldale petitioned for a water system north of Vancouver to be operated by the PUD. And in 1951, Hazeldale's new water system delivered water to its first 347 customers. As time went on, the population grew, and so did the PUD. In 1951, construction was completed on an operations center on 4th Plain. Employees moved to the newly constructed Electric Center near downtown Vancouver in 1956. The 1970s saw a large growth in the community, with the PUD serving 60,000 customers by 1974. In 1978, a new operations center was completed near Orchards. By the 1990s, Bonneville was under pressure from officials in Washington, D.C., and organizations within the Pacific Northwest that commissioners believed contributed to dramatic increases in BPA's rates. Before 1997, Clark Public Utilities had been buying almost all of its power from BPA and had very little control over electric rates. Commissioners determined that a diversified power supply and an increased emphasis on energy conservation would result in more stable rates, leading to a decision to build the River Road generating plant.
At that time, and looking out over the horizon, the gas turbines were the best opportunity to get an extra load here, to get something that we could control and not be totally subjected to the effects of the market on BPA and the influence of a lot of things.
Our own plant would make the most sense. It was something that was controllable. We could operate it. We could displace it and buy cheaper power when that was available.
Construction was completed in 1997. Today, the combined cycle natural gas turbine generator provides nearly 40% of the energy needed in Clark County. The rest is largely from BPA's hydro system. Clark Public Utilities has grown to be the 17th largest public power system in America, serving more than 184,000 electric customers and providing water service to more than 30,000 customers. Throughout this growth and change, the Board of Commissioners has made important decisions on how to best serve the utility's customer owners.
Public Power is leaving its roots as a grassroots organization that was begun by the Grange, and instead is a place where the individual citizen and customer in the community can be involved.
Since 1938, Clark Public Utilities has been committed to putting the customer first while providing reliable power at the lowest cost possible. The utilities employees have consistently worked to become more efficient and make improvements to better serve our customer owners.
I think Clark Public Utilities has developed a culture, and that culture is geared toward recognizing that the customer comes first, and that our goal in providing the service to our customers is to make sure we provide reliable, affordable power while providing excellent customer service.